Alright, let's see. That's a lot of Seek powers and an interactive spell on turn 3, 4, and 5. I think this is actually keepable. I mean, this is basically a 4-power hand where all of my power is depleted. But still, a Slay followed by Alchemist followed by Harsh Rule is pretty good at stabilizing boards. So as long as he's not the kind of deck that goes turn 1, 2, 1, turn 2, a bunch of 1/1s, then I'm in good shape here. A little flooded on the power. So Privilege will give me all the justice that I need. So all of this will find me the other colors that I need. So probably a red, a black, and another black. So let's start with the Shadow here, since we have a Slay. 2 Slays now. And let's grab the Fire. And I guess... I actually don't have any double influence in this deck. Requirement in this deck except for Harsh Rule. Every other card is single influence, so I think I'll be okay. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and slay this. We don't want to take too much damage early in the game. We're perfectly fine trading 1 for 1. The Harsh Rule is gonna come in handy, and even if I have to trade Harsh Rule 1 for 1 with like a Tavern or Impending Doom or whatever, I still think it's fine. I don't need the card advantage to win the game here. I just need to not die to win the game, because when it comes to late game value, very few decks has as much late game value as this one. Yeah, so let's just grab, I don't actually think I need double of anything, so go ahead and grab the Shadow. Oh, I do think I have a Varus Favor in this deck, so maybe I shouldn't have grabbed the Shadow. That was a mistake. Oh well. Yeah, I should have grabbed the Fire instead, because I do think I have 1 or 2 copies of Varus Choice. Varus Favor, and now they're going to be basically dead cards. That was a really big mistake. That's fine with me. I don't care about that unit at all. Let's go ahead and grab our Elysian Pathfinder, because that is the card that really gets the ball rolling. Everything starts with the Pathfinder. Once I play the first Pathfinder, then the next Echo unit that it gets the Echo on, the trigger on, the next unit that it gets the Echo trigger on, English, is going to be the focus to winning this game. Yeah, so that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and Harsh Rule that away. There's actually some argument for playing the Pathfinder anyway and just let him hit me with a Tavern and just give him a weapon, because my deck really doesn't care that much about his weapons. You know, like a Rune Hammer, for example, I can just kill with a Stone Powder Alchemist very easily. Yeah, and him getting life off of the Unseen Commando is perfectly fine. So the card that I'm afraid of the most in this deck is Steward of the Past, which these decks could very well have. So I should definitely save at least 1 Slay in my hand, no matter what happens, just in case. Yeah, see, that doesn't bother me. This 5/3 is basically outlived its usefulness. I don't need it at all. So here we're just gonna go ahead and play 2 copies of the Alchemist, and hope that he doesn't have Steward of the Past and then somehow kill them both. I think that's very unlikely. Yep. And then once these die, well, these don't have Echo, but they're still going to be value when they come back. So at this point, I just want my units to continue to die, and then we can start playing the recycling game. Opponents haven't done much, though. Yeah, there's a second Tavern. Tavern doesn't bother me too much. Let's just take a look at what we find. I hope the Echo went on to... Yep, I hope the Echo went on to an Alchemist, though. I think the Alchemists are a little bit better than the Piercing Greaves. But both are fine. Piercing Greave gets a lot better if you can rise to the challenge them, so their attack is a little bit higher. Or if you can Dark Return them back and, once again, pump their attack a little bit. Okay. In that case, no attack. He attacks me once. I'm still okay with it. I'm not super worried about a weapon here. Unless it's like a Sword of the Sky King, in which case it's really hard to kill. But if it's a runic... Oh, he doesn't even... It's a complete miss. Yeah, if it's just like a Rune Hammer or... I guess just a Rune Hammer, really. I'm perfectly happy with it. No! Okay, the Smuggler Stash is something I need. Dark Return is a good card against us. It's a very good card against us. Although, we are still waiting for the top Echo unit. Sure, let's just kill that. Kill that. And we'll kill that. See, the die show is amazing in this deck. It's always good. Now we have 2 more Smuggler Stash left in our deck. If we can cast Smuggler Stash, I think we'll be in very good shape winning this game. But I do need to draw something. I have another Stone Powder Alchemist on top of my deck somewhere within the top 10 cards. Probably top 7 cards by now. So it's only a matter of time before I take care of this hammer. Not too much time. I have 6 turns, unless he casts something else here. Well, 5 more turns now. Yeah, so let's take a look. We do have a lot of card spells, a lot of cantrips, so our deck is pretty... Actually, do I even torch this? No, I'm gonna wait for him to attack me, then I'll torch it. I think I'll leave that alive. Do I? Both of these cards kill units. So if I kill the unit and take... No. I think it's probably a little safer this way. In case I don't draw anything for like 5 more turns. The hammer can kill me. Oh, there we go. This Harsh Rule is going to be brilliant. Oh, maybe I'll hold the Harsh Rule for a little bit. Oh, my opponent is in a lot of trouble here. I'm still missing the Echo unit though. That's the problem. So that's just a Harsh Rule here. I understand that it's kind of a non-value Harsh Rule. I lose my Stone Powder Alchemist, but I want to lose my Stone Powder Alchemist because I want to bring back 2 units for the Smuggler Stash. So the Alchemist dying is actually a good thing for me. Yeah, I don't actually know how much I care about killing this thing. I guess I want to kill it because I want to hit him with my die show, so there's no point in leaving it around. And now that I've drawn a Harsh Rule, that's kind of like my failsafe. In case anything really weird happens, I have to cast a Harsh Rule. I can always do this and sacrifice my Alchemist. But by killing his Impending Doom, my die show can do 10 damage a turn. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just... Yeah, that's fine. I'll just trade him everything. I'm actually not entirely sure that I want to Harsh Rule here. So if I play the Elysian Pathfinder, what can he do? I mean, even if he gets a what? No, let's not take the risk. Let's just get rid of it. There's no point taking the risk there. Even if he plays a Steward of the Past now, I can just kill the Steward with a die show and then probably kill him. So I don't need to hold the Harsh Rule onto the Steward of the Past that he may or may not have in his deck and may or may not have drawn. Yep. Yeah, so as you can see, as the game goes long, this deck is really good. There's just so many cards that gives you so much value. And Smuggler Stash on a Star Steel die show here is just wins a lot of games. All right, next game. Oh yeah, as I just read my friend's comment, he said that if I had simply torched the Argentport Instigator that turn when he has the Auric Runehammer in play, I would have killed the Instigator and it would have done a damage, also killing the hammer, which is absolutely true. That was by far the best play, and I just completely missed it. Yeah, I just didn't see it. I guess I suck. I don't know. I didn't, even if I slowed down and thought about it a little longer, I'm not sure if I would have seen that. So yeah, just a misplay on my part, and I'd be curious to see how many of you guys have already left a comment yelling at me for that. Oops, I forgot to click record. I redrawn into this hand. This hand is pretty mediocre, but at least I have some interaction. But this hand is missing a lot of the pieces that I need. It's a very shaky hand. But then again, Praxis is usually not a super aggressive deck, so hopefully... oh, this looks like a pretty aggressive start. He's going to be able to play a turn... He's going to be able to play a 4-drop next turn? Alright. I do have the Harsh Rule, and that's good news. But if he plays a very powerful 4-drop here, I'll be in some trouble. Oh no, he's influence screwed maybe. Yes, okay, well I survived that. Let's go ahead and play the Alchemist. We play the Pathfinder next turn, and then we'll look for the unit with the Echo, and then we go off from there. Yep, not afraid of... the Sandstorm Titan is kind of too fair against our deck, so we're not really afraid of it. The Purifies that comes out of this deck is something I'm a little bit more worried about. Now you can play all of the very powerful 6-drops that are available in Praxis. Yeah, Heart of the Vault, Predatory Arcanosaur, all of which are very good. Let's grab another... Actually, don't need anything else. I'll just grab the red here. Question is, do I? Yeah, I just go ahead and Harsh Rule now. Why not? Next turn, I find the Echo unit. And then, soon enough, it'll die to whatever he has, and then we'll bring it back, and we'll be in very good shape against this deck. Yeah, there we go. No, it went into another Pathfinder. Well, it's not that bad. This is the thing that I don't want to happen. Like, it slows you down by a whole turn. The Pathfinders are super, like, non-impactful to the board. This is the worst case. Alright. He's gonna get a lot of value off this Great Killing Titan because we can't kill it for a long time. We need one of our Slays or one of the Harsh Rules. Yep, that's fine. Opponent's also getting a ton of value from this. It's too bad that I don't have an opportunity to torch that thing. Would be... Oh, you know what? That's a great deal. Well, good thing I didn't torch that then. My opponent? Wait, what? Wait, do I? Okay. Whew, okay. I got scared there for a second. I thought I didn't get a chance to torch it, but I do. So that's good. But what's not good is that my opponent has a ton of fatties. Like a lot of fatties. And he's a torch. Those telltale pauses. We're in a lot of trouble here. We need to draw into the Echoing Destinied Stonepowder Alchemist, because that card will save me. Because when I draw it, I'll have 2 copies. Each of the copies will be able to block one of the fatties, and then I can bring back, and I have 4 copies. And I think at that point, things are going to be looking good. Or actually, I could actually just Smuggler Stash back a whole bunch of these Pathfinders. I'm still going to get 4 copies. They're 5/3. They're not bad. Huh. No. We'll play the die show first. We'll take some damage here. That's fine. That way we can bring back the die show as well when I Smuggler Stash. My opponent used his only torch to kill my Pathfinder, so the die show was safe. Alright. Now I'm in some trouble, because playing this leaves me with no power to play anything else. And I take 9? Oh, this is kind of rough. Hopefully he doesn't have removal, and hopefully I can just block here, take 1, take 5, go to 7, and the Stonepowder Alchemist was the top 10 card of my library like 5 turns ago, right? So, oh no, this is brutal. So I'm really hoping I can draw into it. Like, this turn? I think I'm dead? Okay. Whew! That was much needed. Alright. Now I'm not so worried. Whew, okay. Things were getting super dicey there. Now I'm going to have a pretty good stream of echoing units. And I think against a deck like Praxis, which is pretty linear, I'll be okay. Yeah. My Smuggler Stash will be pretty amazing if I can play it on the... I wanted to play it on the Stonepowder Alchemist. So let's just go ahead and attack him with those 2. It's a free eat, so I'm hoping he would take the bait, and he did. Fantastic. It's hard to resist that kind of bait. Because you get to eat a unit for free. At this point, I don't think there's any way my opponent can win. Yeah, it's too much at this point. Alright. Okay. This hand is a 2-power hand. Kind of sketch, even though I'm going second. I do have a cantrip to draw me an additional card. I think it's too sketch. 2-power hands, trying to get to 5 power is just too risky, I think. Okay, I can't play any of these cards. I'm missing red, but I do have a turn 2 play in Inspire, so I'm hoping my opponent doesn't have a super aggressive deck. No red, preferably. Okay, so this deck is not going to be that aggressive. So we're in good shape. Argent Port. These days, Argent Port is usually more in the mid-range to control side with Taverts. Earlier, though, a few months ago, when you see these colors, it's usually a very aggressive deck with Bartholo. Okay, that's more than fine. Ah, there's the red. Perfect. Let's go ahead and Inspire first. And the reason why I play Inspire first is because I've said this many times before. Cards like Quarry, the later, the longer we wait to play them, I think the more effective they'll be. So, because right now I'm not entirely sure what I need. I mean, I know I don't need power, but other than that, my opponent has played nothing. Do I want to Slay for a Tavert? Do I want, you know, a Harsh Rule because he's got, I don't know, he's playing a bunch of 2/2s this turn? Whatever the case may be. But let's then get that Pathfinder to get the show on the road. So if this Pathfinder hits the Piercing Grief, it will be a Echoing 4/2 Piercing Grief, and unfortunately it'll die and go to the yard, so I can't recur it anymore until I draw into one of my Smuggler Stash or Dark Returns. That's the unfortunate part. It's really nice if you can put the Echo onto a unit that hasn't yet died. That way it still has this revenge trigger. Yeah, let's go ahead and I think I'll Quarry first before I seek power. I understand that if you seek power, you may get a power on top of your deck, but I think I want to make sure that I have all access to as much power as possible. Okay, there we go. That costs 2. So here's the thing. 2 torches can kill Macdo, but 2 torches cannot kill Tavert. So, I mean, obviously, if I slay this, attacking for 5, I have 9 points of burn, which will give me a pretty good chance of winning the game from just damage. But the problem is, if I slay this now and attack him for 5 and he plays Tavert, I have to use all 3 of my torches. And that's pretty rough. Ah, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So the thing that swayed my decision is the fact that I have an Echo Piercing Grief on top of my library, because those things will do 8 Jeez, those things will do 8 damage when it comes in. So I have a feeling I have a feeling that in this particular game I might have a chance of killing my opponent with just damage. So 2 Piercing Griefs attack. Oh, there's a lot of blockers, doesn't he? Okay, well, that's unfortunate. So let's go ahead and scheme. Yeah, we'll pick up those Piercing Griefs. If that wasn't there, do I kill him this turn? Do I? So I torch this. I attack him with everything. He eats this for free. He's gonna block this. No. He's gonna block my 5/3 here, and he's gonna eat my 4/2. He's gonna take 4. And I can torch to finish off the Macdo, but then that's not even that great. Why don't I just go ahead and torch this now, and then attack him? I could technically double torch the Macto and kill it, but I think this is just as good. I'll just finish it off with another torch. I lose a lot of card advantage this way, but I do get to do 9 damage to him. Oh, he's gonna make that trade? That's actually way better for me. Okay. Okay. Well, that turned out really well. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually really happy with that series of exchange. So he's actually pretty close to dead. He doesn't know that yet, but he's very close to dead. So he needs an instant speed remove here, or he dies to the Piercing Grief by themselves. But he doesn't know that I have 2 torches in my hand, so I think he's pretty much dead. Yep, he is. I drew another Piercing Grief. Yep. Nice. Sometimes the Piercing Griefs just get there. I really like that card. It's very fun. I don't know. I don't know how to evaluate Piercing Griefs because they're kind of weird. You pay 2, you gain 6 life, and you can maybe do 6 damage, but maybe not. And you do get a card back when you draw it the second time, so it does replace itself. So it's 2 power to maybe do 3 or 6 damage, draw a card, gain 6 life. It's actually a ton of value. So if your deck can last long enough for you to benefit from that value, meaning you last 10 turns, it's actually a pretty good card. It's got a lot of things going for it that if you look at it in individual components of it, it doesn't seem very powerful, but if you add them all up, it's a lot of things for 2 power. So I really like that card. Okay, let's see. Perfect power. I don't need the time yet because I don't even have the Elysian Pathfinder yet, and presumably this will help me find it. I have interaction. I have a card filter. Yeah, this is pretty good. I could very well draw into time naturally. This is good. This is good. It looks like I'm playing against some kind of Felon control deck. Sabotage, sure. The thing I don't want him to take. Actually, all of the spells in my hand are very good. So, how unhappy that that he took that particular card? I'm not sure. Sure, I'll take this. This can knock an Aegis off of Champion of Cunning. Not too bad, but a little sad that he chose to take the Rise to the challenge. Because now I have nothing going on. The Smuggler Stash will be useful when I get to the late game, but let's see how long I last against this deck when I have nothing going on. There's the time that I need. So he doesn't know that I have time in my deck yet. So I guess I'll just play cheeky and not show him. Not that I think it makes a difference in his decision making. I don't think there will be. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm in bad shape here. I don't really want to use the Varus Favor on that because that's going to get triggered naturally by a Stone Powder Alchemist, so I'm not afraid of his Aegis here. Oh, that is a card that I'm very much afraid of. I need to kill that ASAP. I don't want to miss a power drop, so I'm going to go ahead and Varus Favor here. This deck is somewhat mana hungry, so I mean the worst thing that can happen now is he plays a Champion of Cunning, but I can still torch it, so it's not too bad. Yep, we'll grab this. Let's just go ahead and swing in. Yeah, my opponent has correctly stripped the Rise to the challenge. With that Rise of Challenge, I could have a Elysian Pathfinder in play by now, and he would be in a lot of trouble. But because he took it, there's basically only quote-unquote 5 copies of Elysian Pathfinder left in my deck, so I really have to draw into it as quickly as I can. I need to draw more cards like Scheme, for example. That will help me look. Oh, there it is. Please don't have Unseal. Oh, it does not. Perfect. And these colors have no way to discard this or silence this before I use it, so I'm in good shape. I'm not afraid of the Black Sky Harbinger at all with this deck. So I'll just let him have it. Even if he attacks me, I'm trading him basically 2 damage for 1 damage on my part. So I take 3 and he takes 2, so it's not that bad. Even this race is not that terrible for me. Oh, and now things look a little tougher. So let's go ahead and torch that. I hope he doesn't have an unseal here. I have to use 2 harsh rules. Let's attack him. And because this is free damage, he's not gonna block. So I get to do the 5 damage for free. Oh, he's gonna go ahead and block. Well, in that case, I'm not going to harsh rule. That seems like a great deal. Yeah. I'll wait one more turn, see what he has. I'm okay taking 5 damage for a couple of turns. I have a feeling he has, if he goes power and then Vera, Fate Touch, then I'll be in some trouble here. Because I have to spend 2 turns killing this thing, and while that happens, he's pumping his team. Yep, that's fine. Oh, he's just going through his deck. I think he's looking for a Steward of the Past. He wants to get rid of my my shenanigans here. Yep, let's just keep going. Alright, that's what we need. Okay, so let's go ahead and kill that now. Next turn, we start coming back with our shenanigans. Because this shenanigan with the Smuggler Stash... No. No, that hurts a lot. That hurts a lot. Wait, do I? No, just play this. Alright. That makes me really sad because I need those Smuggler Stash for this to recur. And if he plays a Steward of the Past right now, I think I just concede this game. Although I do have 2 Dark Returns left in my deck, but Dark Returns are significantly worse than Smuggler Stash. So I have 1 copy of Smuggler Stash left, and I can't hold cards in my hand, so things are looking pretty dicey for me. That's okay too. I don't actually care about their toughness. Them dying is fine. But see, if that Azendo's Gift wasn't there, with 2 Smuggler Stash, I would be able to make, I don't even know how many copies of these things. Might be able to just kill them off of the deal 2 damage triggers alone. And I would be drawing a lot of cards. But as it is, I'm in a lot of trouble. Oh, well, no, you can get lucky. You can get very lucky. Well, I mean, my opponent's not afraid though. He's gonna have another Hex Black Sky Harbinger. He's gonna have another Lightning Storm. This isn't something that my opponent should be worried about. Because his deck doesn't seem like it's bad against this board state. I guess I'll play it just to... Oh, no. I'll discard it so then I can get lands out of it. So, fair enough. I don't even know if I have any more Justice left in my deck. There's 2. Oh, okay, so... Yeah, that will help filter out my deck a little bit. Reduce the number of power. I think my best draw is still Smuggler Stash. And if not Smuggler Stash, my best draw might actually be a Rise to the Challenge. Because then I can grab a Dice Show. And the Dice Show will destroy this opponent, I think. He needs Vera, is what he needs. Well, he's removing my units one at a time with Death Strike. So he's in a lot of trouble here. Sure. Still infinite value. Alright, come on. Anything but power, I'll be pretty happy. Rise to the Challenge might really be one of my best draws possible. This is still okay. Yep, this is still good. So something else is gonna have Echo, and that's exactly the kind of value I need to grind out control decks. This is problematic if he removes my 3/3, he'll be drawing a lot of cards. Yep, that's fine, because I don't want to draw power. So I'm hoping he doesn't draw a removal spell, then I can block his 6/3, but I'll be taking a lot of damage here. I don't have a lot of time, because this Champion of Cunning is going to do a lot of damage. I have very little time left. Still the best draw. Rise to the Challenge is not even good enough anymore, because I can no longer kill these with a Dice Show. And this is too weak. 6 life per turn is not going to be able to raise his 17 life per turn. And then 21. So I'm on a 2-turn clock. I die in 2 turns. I die on his next turn. I need to draw... Harsh Rule doesn't help, because they have both Aegis. So what I need to draw now is... Smuggler Stash. I just need Smuggler Stash. And my opponent's getting infinite value off of his Feast Color here. That Azendo's Gift really is a killer. This card ends games. So powerful. One of the most powerful cards. I mean, it's a 7-drop, of course, but one of the most powerful cards. My opponent seems to think I'm kidding a lot. I mean, that's what the deck does, right? I mean, I am pretty lucky with some of the echoes because I got them really early on. Is this enough to kill him? Let's take a look. Smuggler Stash, please. Smuggler Stash might actually kill him here. Even a Dark Return. Oh no, Slay is not good enough. Slay is not good enough. Yep, that's fine. A Smuggler Stash might have done it. I had a shot. But nope. Only getting 6 life here. I can chump the 10-3 with the Stone Powder Alchemist, so I still live. But pretty dicey here. Yeah, let's get rid of the last Shadow Sigil from my deck. That way I don't draw them. I think I do this in hopes that I draw into a Harsh Rule or Slay next turn. Smuggler Stash is still my best draw. No! I mean, that's not surprising. My opponent drew a lot of cards off the Feast Color, so it's expected that he would have drawn in some kind of removal spell. But he did draw a lot of removal spell. But so that's not surprising. But what really killed me that game was the Azendo's Gift. That really did destroy me. Okay, this hand is pretty good. I have a lot of power, a fetch. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's not good. I have absolutely nothing going on. The Dark Return doesn't do anything until I get a unit to die, and most of my units don't die first. They die and they come back, and then they really die. So the Dark Return is going to be a dead card in my hand for a really long time. This one, though, is super sketch. I need power badly. I hope my opponent's got a slow deck, so I have an opportunity to draw out of this power screw. But we have to pretty much draw running power, like, and it has to be, and one of the power has to be a Justice. So it's a lot to ask for. Yep, I'll take the 1 here. I'm not gonna torch that. Power. Ooh. Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so now I have 3 Slays. Again, against a time deck. Oh, it's a Zenin deck. I can get rid of 3 large units, which will be pretty good. I think I'm just gonna kill the 2-1 here for power efficiency purposes, because I'm not gonna have time to slay something and then torch, and I'll be taking too much damage from that thing. I'm not going to play a slay on the 1-1. Alright, play something like big so I can slay it. Or let me draw power, please. Power would be the best. Oh no, this card destroys me. Alright, I have to slay this no matter what happens. So the good news is I have lots of slays in my hand for that. And the other good news is he's doing 2 damage per turn, so he's really slow. If he had a couple more damage on the board here, I would be very low life total. That would be really worried. Alright. I can kill 2 more fatties. I have a feeling he has a handful of removal spells, which is typical of Zenin decks. Okay. I'm going to attack him for 3. He's not going to waste a removal on this. I'm just going to gank 3 life, which is great because he's doing so little damage to me. Sure. Opponent's at a point where he's just wasting removal spell on something like that, which dies on its own. So all he's doing is he's using 2 power to not let me gain 3 life, basically. 1 in 10 chance. I'm going to scheme because I need power. I'll take power over anything at this point. I'm just thinking about using another removal spell. Oh yeah, absolutely Fire Sigil over everything here. Attack him for 3, which he'll block. Yep, and now he's got even a slower clock. It's 1 damage per turn. Alright, so next turn, I can rise to the challenge, or I can Stone Powder Alchemist, or I can Slate and play Dark Return, so I have a lot of options. My opponent's flooding out pretty hard. Yep, that seems like something I have to kill. Yes, draw power naturally. Perfect. I'm not going to Dark Return this Grief. It's pretty weak. It's basically just gonna get it. All it's gonna do is gain me 4 life. The damage that it does is pointless. But it does draw me a card, so if I'm stumbling a lot, I can potentially think about it. Yep, it's gonna because my opponent's doing nothing. I'm not worried about playing out the Alchemist. I can always play that later on. Like I've said during the deck tech, the engine of the deck doesn't start until the first Pathfinder is played. So this is the most important thing. This is gonna get removed, but that's perfectly fine. My opponent's deck has no threats. He's doing 1 damage per turn, and that's giving your opponent far too much time. So my opponent's deck is letting other late game decks set up, and what he's hoping to do is going bigger than another late game deck. But I don't see anything in Zenin that really allows you to go bigger than another late game deck. So maybe now he'll have a Mysterious Champion or whatever that thing is called, 7/7 unblockable, and that will hurt. But at this point, my engine's online. I do need to draw some power, but yeah, next turn I play Alchemist. I always have the option to play Dark Return onto the Piercing Grief for more. Oh, there we go. Now I think I'm in full gear here. I'm a little worried about him playing Steward of the Pass, because I have no way to kill it at the moment. I need to draw 1 more power to use the Daisho to kill it, or 1 more torch so I can double torch it. My opponent has a bunch of removal spell in his hand, and this is not something you want to remove. There's the Steward, which I'm afraid of, but oh, I also lost the opportunity to. That's fine too. I have another one in my hand, and I also have 2 more in my hand, so I think I'm okay with that. I do need power really badly though. I've been stuck on power for the whole game with my opponent all the way up to 9. Alright, let's just go ahead and improve it to the rank at this point. And then do nothing else. Now I'm getting a little bit afraid, because if I can't kill the Steward, playing a lot of my cards here don't do me any good. And what I need is to draw, and if he plays another big threat, I actually have no way to kill the big threat. What I need now is a Harsh Rule, because I already used up 3 slays. I don't have any slay. I only have 1 slay left in my deck. Another torch would do it. A Harsh Rule would do it. So let's just go ahead and... Actually... No. I changed my mind. I'm actually just going to kill this with a Daisho here, because the Harsh Rule can kill a giant unit, whereas this cannot kill a giant unit. I don't want to take any more damage. I'll do it this way. It's very inefficient use of my torch, but I take 2 less damage this way, and I think it's at a point where, I mean, this thing has been there pinking away 1 damage at a turn for like, what, 9 turns now? So I actually take like 9 damage from that unit throughout this game, which is pretty crazy. I just have to hope he doesn't have another Steward of the Pass in his hand. One of my best draws now would be a Smuggler Stash would be one of my best draws, because I can bring back the Daisho as well. And I'm going to block with both of these because I want them to die. Actually, I don't want this one to die. I'll just block with 1. I want this one to die, because I want that one to come back. Yeah, I want that one to be destinied. And now I just have to hope to draw into it. I don't even have to hope. I'll just rise into it. I can quarry into it, but rising into it give me the additional benefit of making it 4-2, which I think is really good. And it's a guaranteed draw 2 as well. I think at this point my opponent's not going to be able to win unless he finds another Steward of the Past at the perfect timing. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to kill the Steward of the Past without using Harsh Rule, and that's very risky because I lose all of my echoing units as well. Let's go ahead and quarry first. I may consider Harsh Rule. No, I don't want a Harsh Rule. I don't want this Piercing Grief, I don't think. I'd rather have a scheme. Opponent's gonna run out of time here pretty soon. I wouldn't mind getting another Pathfinder, because sooner or later I'm gonna need to start that chain all over again. Yeah, one thing I could have done is I could have rise to the challenge. Yep. One thing I could have done was rise to the challenge for another Pathfinder, but that's... and then hope that I can quarry into one of these naturally. That's fairly slow. That's okay. I'm not super worried about that thing there. Yeah, I'm not worried. I have a Harsh Rule in my hand. Definitely not worried about these vanilla units here. Let's Inspire first. My opponent's pausing. He might be playing on mobile, and it's just very laggy for him. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think I'll Harsh Rule this turn, and then after a Harsh Rule, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and play the Dark Return on the Alchemist right away, just in case he draws a Steward and they, lose all effectiveness. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I have 4 more points of burn damage, like direct damage in my hand. There, that's gonna help me find the Pathfinder, and that'll finish the game. Oh, he's had enough. Alright, it's a very grindy game. And my opponent actually has a deck that could beat mine because he actually plays Steward of the Past. Luckily, we were able to handle the 2 that came out. We got power screwed for a really long time, and still able to come back because of my opponent's deck's sort of defensiveness. He plays a lot of defensive cards, lots and lots of removal, and he didn't really draw into his really large threats, most of which we don't care that much about. I think the World Bear Behemoth is something we want to kill. Just we don't want to have too much power, but even if it hits us a couple of times and he does have power, I don't think it matters that much unless there's something else in his deck that allows him to benefit from that power, which we haven't seen. The Sandstorm Titans is one of the most powerful fair units and most undercosted baddies, but it's too fair for our deck. We don't really care about fair units. So yeah, and we're able to eke out the win at the end there by coming back from severe power screw in the beginning and then just outlasting my opponent. I cannot pronounce this name. This hand looks good. 2 Piercing Grief, it's not good for the first few turns, but when I get him back again, that'll be quite good. And then an Inspire to Cantrip, and now that to Cantrip. Yeah, this is good. I'm pretty happy with this hand. I am against one of the decks that I'm worst against. I have to basically draw into a Harsh Rule with a fairly healthy life total, or I'm going to lose this game very quickly. That actually hurts me too, because when the Piercing Griefs die, I gain 2 life. I mean, I lose a life, so I'm only getting 2 instead of 3. And every point of life matters against this particular deck. Taking 5 here, going to 20. Probably more if he has anything else. I swing back and gain 2 more life. Whew, okay. He's got nothing else going on, which is great. I'll gain myself 2 more life. And next turn I can play both the Quarry and the Inspire. I'll play the Inspire first, because if I draw into one of those Piercing Greaves that died, there would be 4/2s, and that would be really good. Ah, painful. Extremely painful. Yeah. I need to draw into Harsh Rule. But I think even a Harsh Rule might be too slow. I'm just taking too much damage here. I get to see a few more cards. That's not the one I want to see. Let's take a look. Nope. This is guaranteed death. The Rise to the Challenge is too slow against this deck. The Smuggler Stash is also too slow against this deck. So I don't die the next attack, unless he has Rally or another Bandit Queen. But I am most certainly dead on the following turn. So I have to hope that he has nothing, and that I draw into a Harsh Rule. Nope. Then I'm dead. Exactly 12 damage. Nope, 15 damage. Opponent has it all. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of deck that my deck is really bad against, because I've chosen not to play any hate against the kind of decks. Mainly Plague, and also maybe Devastating Setback is pretty good against this deck as well. But I've chosen not to use them, and so against that deck, I'm pretty much going to lose most of the games that I run into them.